Hey guys, Von Fry here. So today we are watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first movie, as it will sometimes be called on recent DVD box art, and I think it's even labeled as such in the thumbnail on Netflix. So if you want to watch this along with me, it's on Netflix as of this recording. All you gotta do is queue up to 0000 and hit play now. Okay, this is a movie. Should I get that on a t-shirt? I saw this in theaters when it came out, as did every kid in the country. Because let me tell you, man, though history books will say otherwise, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was, for kids my age, more popular than Star Wars. I was born after The Return of the Jedi, and this was our thing. Late 80s, early 90s, there was nothing bigger than the Ninja Turtles. Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan be damned. Okay, so right away, you may not realize it, we have April O'Neil on the telly. And she is just dumping exposition right there, talking about the crime wave in New York City. Doom, 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 boom, boom, right? We got these youths that pickpocket. You know, it's weird to think that we could have a giant movie. This is one of the biggest movies of 1990. And it's about, like, petty theft in a way. Like, everything is such bigger stakes now. If you look at the most recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Manhattan is being destroyed by Krang and his efforts with Dimension X, right? It never gets that big here. This is grounded in reality more. And though some would say that you're probably seeing this movie because you were into the cartoon or because your kid brought you to it as they were into the cartoon, I think this is more inspired by the comic the comic books. These were Eastman and Laird created the Ninja Turtles, 1984, a self-published comic book. I think was it Image Comics then later or something. And it was black and white, made in like a copy printer, and the incredibly rare comic book. One of the like top ones you could get of, I think, what's called the Bronze Age in comics. Most of what you'll find are reprints. So we had the Foot Clan. They were instructing these kids. They're stealing old grannies' televisions. Yeah, we need this guy who looks like he's ready to instruct ninjas overseeing low-end hi-fi theft. That guy right there, isn't his name Danny? Is he April's boss's son? Now, you'll notice that this movie does not look like today's films. It is incredibly grainy, high contrast look, distinctly film, not like what we'd find today. There is a bit of a glow you can see around those kind of like cubed windows right here. April, we've put her in yellow. We have identified her. And it's a different look for April. She looks a little Liquid Sky-esque. And I didn't realize it at the time, but what's her name? Is it Judith something? She's like early 20s in this, which makes me feel ancient as shit. Judith Hoag, right? She actually looks really good still, or at least the last time I saw her in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, where she was, I think, a doctor, and looked almost the same as she does here, nearly 30 years later. Actually, it's probably about 20 years later. She was replaced by Paige Turco for the next two films. All right, so kind of an odd throw of the sigh, but all right, we're having a little bit of fun with the sound effects, but it's black and the speed of the ninja. This is sort of thing that you only really saw in ninja films afterwards, in the sense of Batman, Christopher Nolan's, the way how Batman could operate in the dark or seemingly dodge bullets in The Dark Knight Rises in the dark. Okay, so Raphael saved April O'Neil, but he forgot his sigh. Dope. She's got it. Oh man. Raphael curses. He yells "damn." There, he gives a damn. He yells a bigger damn, and that's pretty shocking for the kids going to see this. Golden Harvest presents. This is essentially a Chinese film made in America, if you want to look at it that way. I think that it was probably a good thing that Golden Harvest was behind this because they were able to get the fighting down, maybe more so than another outfit would have. A Steve Barron film. What did he do besides this? I'm not really so sure. All right, so the turtles are having a little bit of fun here. There's the iconic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo as seen in the cartoon. Not even close to how it was used in the comic books when they launched. Now, we've got a great look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles costumes, which are fantastic. Many would say the best the Turtles ever looked live action. I suppose I would agree with that because even if you wanted to include, for the sake of argument, the Michael Bay produced films, that's not really live action, that's CGI stuff. These are Jim Henson's, probably one of it. If he didn't directly make these are some of the last things he made or oversaw in some capacity. And I think the film is also dedicated in his memory at the end. Master Splinter, we had our first battle. They were many, but we kicked a hum. I can't say shell or butt, but yeah. If this was made a few years earlier, they would have had a very tough time pulling off all the intricate eye movement and the mouth. It lines up so well. You could show this to a small enough kid, and I don't think they would think these were people in costumes. Everything about the texture. Also, it could have a lot to do with the way the film's lit. They're very much in the shadows. I lost a sigh. You had the first battle, but I was under the impression only Raphael fought those guys. Voicing the Shredder is Elmo, the actor puppeteer formerly who did Elmo. I forgot his name, but yeah, he kind of got Me Too'd out of Elmo. If they're teenagers, how old is the rat, theoretically? Could a rat be that much older? And even if he thought they were baby turtles, okay, so maybe they're teenagers and he's what, 20? He's already telling them that he might die soon. No one really had a problem with the voices, be it from Splinter or the Turtles in this film, but they made quite a revolving door around who is going to be voicing what in these films. Turtles are having fun. I think a gripe I would have with this movie is the characterization of Donatello. Raphael's cool but rude. Michelangelo's probably dude. Donatello does machines. No. Minimal machine effort from Donatello in this. I think he might help with a truck. But he's just a goof like Michelangelo, really, when it comes down to it. They do have Michelangelo shorter than the others, and in that way, it might be suggested that he's younger or the youngest at heart, the most juvenile. Corey Feldman is Donatello. Odd casting choice. Yeah, I never really ran across a pizza outfit that truly guaranteed delivery or it's free in 30 minutes. Oh, $3 off, not free. But you've heard that sort of thing brought up in movies. Yeah, I wonder if that's something that just happens in movies. Like you see, current commercial, State Farm. The guy's talking to the psychiatrist. He's laying on the couch, and he's like, got his eyes shut. He's having the dream. He's telling him sort. Is that something that only happens in movies with psychiatrists? Maybe the pizza thing too. It was strange to me to think that they were into Domino's Pizza because of the game that we were playing at the time and all the arcade game mentioned it has Pizza Hut in it. In fact, when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, which was the 1989 arcade name, right, loosely ported to the NES, came out, it had coupons for Pizza Hut on the box. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will occasionally reference pop culture from their time. You're talking about like Ginsu's knives. Oh, look, there's Critters on the poster. Raphael, I guess, apparently was watching Critters. Ugh. That movie was what? Was it like 1986? Kind of makes you wonder when they were shooting this. I don't think I got into the cartoon until it was out for some time because the first thing I was really into that had action figures and merchandising was Ghostbusters. And I guess that would really be the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon. I like how he points to the side, like he's got a sidearm. Like you don't want this, guys. If you're one of those dudes, aren't you just asking questions like, what's that? Sweet hockey mask on Casey Jones here. Elias Koteas, probably always pronounce his name wrong. Oh, you didn't want him roughing up the kids? I already scared him off of my side, dude. New York's a big place, but it's got a lot of vigilante action. Oh, you get to decide who gets to be a vigilante? Well, I saw Death Wish, buddy. Man, I really like his lines. Pain 101. It's always was confusing me, this Jose Canseco joke reference. Was he a joke in 1990? Wasn't he MLB MVP shortly before that? Was he busted for steroids sometime later? Uh, I don't know. I think that's a joke brought up for the parents. Whoa, whiffer. Man, so much of this stuff I used to quote back in the day. You got some kind of fun music here. Yeah, they're kind of playing up the baseball organ type sounds. Man, Raphael takes some real abuse in this movie, especially compared to the other turtles. The guy has a cricket bat, a baseball bat, a hockey stick. Casey Jones is just all about the sports, and is he going to come out there with a basketball? Oh, he does not like being called freak. Oh yeah, New York for you. Big turtle. Oh yeah, we're still. You got to go places. Man, look at all the silhouette here. This movie looks so good compared to how it used to appear on VHS or cable TV, where it was so grainy that it could be pretty hard to make out what was really happening. All right, Raphael, we got to remind you of some rules. I try to channel your anger. How? What are you gonna do with it? This a talk like this has got to be confusing kids in the audience. Like, I thought Bebop and Rocksteady were gonna show up and they were gonna like slip on banana pills. And they're trying to get all deep and spiritual, and that gets to be a big theme with the movie. But really, the core theme here, it's about family, and that's why it works. This is really about identifying a modern family, not one of blood relation. Sure, the turtles may very well be blood related, but come on, their master Splinter is like their father, adopted wise. Danny has problems. He's a bit estranged with his dad. What is she doing over at his place? Are they dating? It seems a little weird, right? Gotta drive him to school just to make sure he goes, huh? It's about kids ignoring their parents and feeling lost. And the Foot Clan tries to get in there and identify themselves as a family. And it's like, hey, you're our family now. You may think your dad's your family, but it's really us. I'm your father now. I think Shredder says something along those lines. Oh, is this our police chief? It'd be really hard to to take down a pickpocket ring. They got the ninja training, man. It allows them to get away with them televisions and stereos. Oh, Turtles, you guys couldn't have gotten a bigger, less broken TV. I wonder how good their signal could be in the sewer. Look at all the TV Shredder has. Our first glimpse at Shredder there. That dagger he threw onto the TV appears to have been in post. We have to stop her. She's speaking out against us. Not wearing the yellow anymore, but is anybody complaining that much about it? I mean, at least they put her in a yellow jacket once. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, the recurring theme 80s and 90s. The cops do not like being told how to do their job. Oh, dangerous, Raphael. You really want to go out in daylight, disguise or not? They would wear such a disguise in the cartoon. I'm not so sure about the comics. I never read the original run of comics. I had a couple way later when they got in with Archie, but I think you can access the comics for free. They're kind of like archived online. There's a free database you can look at it on a tablet through like your local library. It's called like Hoopla, I think, and they may have it there. I think I'd seen a card kind of advertising the service, and it showed the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the front. Gift for you, slap. Underrated costuming in this film, particularly the Foot Clan. It is so hard to have an inventive new take on ninjas, but look how cool this is. They have like this mesh over their eyes. I mean, even that kind of like sock they have, you can see around their feet. This is easily the best the Foot Clan ever looked. Okay, now you got to ask yourself, we got stunt performers in the Turtles, okay? We can get them to do a backflip. We can get them to do a back handspring. They can do a kick. They can punch. I would argue that the Michael Bay production made more positive steps than people understand. All right, let me clarify. You make the Turtles all CGI, you can have them jump off buildings and do all kinds of crazy shit that they would have done in the comics or the cartoon that you can't get people in suits to do. You could have much more intricate action, and that's the way it needed to go. I also have some appreciation for them not simply stealing this design and turning it into CGI. There are fans who would have liked that, but fans are not the most creative people in the business. That's why you guys write fan fiction instead of making up your own goddamn movies. Can we keep her? Michelangelo said something also kind of weird about when April first came to them in the pilot for the TMNT cartoon 87. It's like, well, we can't let her go. I got it. She stays with us forever. It was one of the funniest things ever said on the show. Obviously freaking out, understandable. I'm dead. Now people say I'm dead for totally different reasons. Okay, let me run something by you. What is the purpose of the bandanas on the Ninja Turtles? I was just thinking about this today. The only thing it does, by giving them the different colors, allows the audience to identify them quicker. That's really about it, because whose identity are they protecting? You put a mask on to rob a bank, right? So people don't know who you are. You're one of 4 Ninja Turtles in the planet. And you have a mask on, what? So that no one notices it's you in particular. However, your most identifiable characteristic is the color of your mask. So, if anything, the bandanas on these turtles, by having these colors, gives away their identity instead of keeping it a secret as one would typically try to cover their face. All right, we're going to have some kind of wanky... I would say this is go motion, not stop motion. This looks like live puppetry type stuff here. Yeah, okay, we obviously have turtles, but composite shot here, lots of shadow. Radioactive material. Does that say CG2? I think they changed the ooze canister to TGI in the sequel. Yeah, would you say that this holds up? It's so fuzzy. There we got some turtle puppet stuff going. Yeah, that's not stop motion. Oh, already talking. You already know the words of the things you're eating. Yeah, that's like a rod puppet type deal, and they're editing out for like rotoscoping out the rods at the feet. Named him after his favorite Renaissance painters. Why afraid? I'm not dreaming. No, I'm afraid not. What's the fear? He doesn't tell her the whole story, though. Doesn't tell her about Shredder. Do sewers look like that? Like, not a lot of running water? Uh, I'm not so certain. Except for a frozen pizza. Whoop! You mean frozen? No. You eat pizza? Doesn't everybody? I was wondering, when did pizza become such a big thing? I mentioned this with the Goonies. Uh, I guess it just hadn't dawned on me. Michael brought it up that there was pizza delivery in E.T. I can't think of a pizza delivery before that in a movie. I had kind of thought that maybe the Ninja Turtles were instrumental in making pizza more popular in America. Everybody knew they were into pizza. I felt like them eating pizza made me want to eat pizza, and then we had a generation of people eating pizza. Okay, so he's doing the Rocky impression, the James Cagney stuff with, I think these are lines he didn't actually say, but everybody acts like that's the impression for it. I think this is humor aimed at the adults in the crowd. All right, they're hanging out, having a good time. It looks like they made fast friends. Oh no, our place got wrecked. Is this a damn moment? The faces are so expressive in this movie, more so than in the others. They can look like they're having fun. They can look serious too, and serious is very hard to pull off with puppets. Splinter's been kidnapped. Man, was I not paying attention? What led them to the location as far as Splinter goes? And for how long has Splinter and Shredder been going at this? Like, you have to wonder. It seems almost as though Shredder's whole MO is getting even with Splinter, and he's had a lot of opportunities to do it so far. Did he just not know he was in the city? And because of the turtle activities, now he realizes, oh, so I'm actually pretty close to getting this done. Tells them to hide. Just magic of editing hidden. How does Danny avoid prison? Is he constantly getting bailed out? We saw him getting arrested. Oh, he sees something, turns around, gone. Ninja magic. I don't think that the news director at a television studio really walks over and visits the lead anchor or reporter's house on occasion. Danny is a really good characterization of what a teenager would be like in a movie. Quiet around the adults. It's not a lot of this I talk like I'm smarter than the adult stuff. He has a lot to learn. This is one of the more true characters as far as white early teen kid in the 90s I've come across. Everything else, it's like so sassy. They have so much to say. The adults are the dumb ones. And hell, like I keep bringing it up, but that what is it? Shit, Single Parents on ABC, where all the kids are poets. Bunch of garbage. Poets and philosophers. Look at this place, man. If you okay, they got the blacks, they got the whites, they got the Asians, the Hispanics, everybody, racial harmony for evil. We got gambling, we got games, we got cigarettes. If you were a kid in New York City, you'd have to hang out here or you were not cool, and you can't not be cool. All right, so the lead guy giving the tour here, Sam Rockwell, Oscar winner. This might be his very first role. Yeah, we got cigarettes, all right. I'd have to keep an eye on it, but I don't think that the TMNT 89 arcade game is featured in the background. A lot of times they will bring those sort of things into a movie if it's based on a game, or they could work that in some way. I just watched Double Dragon recently. It's ass, and they have a moment with the Double Dragon arcade game. Now for the more serious side of things, where we train to become Foot Clan. Loser. Pull him away. Oh, you think you're tough, huh? See how you go against Tatsu? Something like that? Baldy? I will defeat you with my anger. Oh, you bowed. Big mistake. Yeah, I've heard that elsewhere. You don't lower your eyes to the enemy. You bow with your face up. Keep an eye on him. He's teaching him life's lessons. Not such a bad dude, right? All right, we got an important meeting. Everybody get off the scaffolding. Incredibly ominous reveal here for Shredder. We had a bit of a tease for Shredder. I mean, this walk here, this is iconic stuff. You don't get this attention to detail with any other child property. Now, his cape, I always was under the impression it was like oh man, now you can kind of see the difference. I thought it was like a garbage bag material. It was all black and had a shiny thing to it. In fact, I think NECA came out with a toy that kind of reveals the true nature of it. And you can see it more so here in high definition streaming on Netflix. It's black with a sort of tiger stripe silver coating over it. I thought those were wrinkles this whole time. Everything about Shredder's costume is awesome. Everything. The helmet, the blades, the tiger stripe trash bag cape. I'm okay with him having a maroon instead of purple. I don't think that you look at this and say, oh, well, that's not the real Shredder, right? They really overdid the shredderness for the newer iterations of him, where it's just like, how many blades can we put on him, and we'll call that Shredder. Okay, we're making a new Foot Clan. You kids are playing with your cigarettes and your arcade gambling and stuff, but someday you'll want to become Foot. There's Sam Rockwell in the background. The Dragon Doji. I don't know what that means, but it sounds important. See? The world rejects you. This is your family. I am your father. Luke, search your feelings. You know it be true. He's got a hell of a recruitment scheme, doesn't he? I would say that my biggest knock against this movie, and I have gone on record, I had a video, I think maybe a year or two ago, where I reviewed this in a jog vlog format, in which I gave the 1990 TMNT film, yes, 2.5 out of 4 stars. I'll stand by that, and I'll say this is the best TMNT movie. I would say that those Michael Bay produced films are not far behind, frankly. They certainly bring a lot more of a different kind of action to it, and I think update the material in a lot of positive ways that people aren't willing to admit. I will say that there's action without consequences in this, and it doesn't seem fitting. You have an incredibly dire, dark film for the most part, with just these brief moments of levity. It's not a joke like Secret of the Ooze, or whatever the third one was called. You don't have action that kills people, or they took Splinter hostage. Why? So that the Turtles would have somebody to rescue. Like, there wasn't a reason to take him hostage. I mean, he seems like he wants him dead by the end of the movie, but nope, hostage for now. Why? The hell with that. Raphael gets mutilated throughout the film. Nothing much comes of that. They fight with weapons. No one ever gets anything sliced off of them or stabbed or anything. In some way, showing kids that you can hit people with katanas and not hurt them might be more dangerous than having them chop heads off. Because then you could tell the kid, hey, you can't be chopping people's heads off, right? Oh, well, it's okay. The Ninja Turtles hit people with katanas and nothing happens. Oh, whoops, I sliced off a hand. In the UK, these are known as the Hero Turtles, and they had always edited out in the cartoon Raphael's nunchucks. And eventually, the cartoons in America, he just kind of dropped the nunchucks altogether and had like a grappling hook. In Turtles 2, they have weapons and they never use them. I think that could be some pushback from them having weapons, using them, and no one getting hurt in the first movie. Why don't you? I need to get me some pork rinds. At the end of the film, there is a rap that is better than Vanilla Ice's Ninja Rap, and I don't know what they called it, but it's like I think it's Rex in effect, and it mentions Raphael's the leader, though he isn't. He certainly has a bigger role in this movie than I think the other Turtles. Of all the rooftops, had to be an eyesight of Casey Jones. Never got to see the texture of the turtle's face so well as in HD here. And, I can mention that the turtles have more noticeable spots in Secret of the Ooze. They have spots here, but they're done in this kind of iridescent way. I think that when they were painting these up, they really studied their amphibians. She called me Mikey. Oh, yeah. I believe that Ernie Reyes Jr., who played Keno in the sequel, was one of the turtle stunt performers in this film. Ah, getting beat up by the Foot Clan. Toss those size down the chimney. Doom, 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 boom. He's just blown off some steam. Man, I didn't even think I remembered that line, but man, I used to watch this so much 30 years ago, I tell you. There's some good stuff here. Like, it's good to be able to do some moves. I'm telling you, you could do a whole lot more with this with CGI. A whole lot of crazier shit. Damn, they bring like the whole Foot Clan? The way the Foot Clan are always able to locate the turtles makes you think that Danny is constantly ratting on them. Hey, my dad left me a whole lot of stuff that can burn. Oh, we've got a little bit of fun interjected in here. Symbols. He likes it. Gets his face or back of his head raked across the stairs. Boom. Oh, you could see as Donatello was pushing on Raph there that his shell was more foam than it probably should have been. You may want to look for that throughout the movie, see how flexible that foam shell gets. Ah, fellow Chucker. Man, it can't be easy to work stuff with those hands. I mean, you're taking away your finger count even. Realistically, would these guys be bothered to do a demonstration? How much more can you do with nunchucks? Looks like Michelangelo's giving him the finger. Oh, look, they're fighting with weapons. The music here is pretty light at first. I think the fight takes a turn for the worse though, and as the turtles get on the run, the music gets, the more tone shift to the dark side. I think maybe they could do a little bit more with the mouths. I would think that a possibility for rebooting this, as there's supposed to actually be a release this at the end of this year, 2020. You haven't heard enough news to lead you to believe that's going to happen. But I would guess that the direction they go would probably be more in the way of actors in suits with probably CGI faces. They're just going to say it's going to be easier to animate the faces in CGI than it is with electronics, gizmos, gyros, everything that's going to be required to do that is just too much effort. Uh, We are ruining your dad's junk he hoarded. Even more foot. I didn't know that was the symbol for attack, but closed fist, okay. Could be worth noting that the Ninja Turtles have feet shaped like the shoes ninjas wear. They call themselves the Foot Clan, and then you see their logo and you kind of think, isn't that the Turtles' foot? I think those are Zingilian symbols right there, the oldest company on Earth. At this point, I would assume everybody who needed symbols had them, and we didn't need more symbols created. Can you not pass them on? Are people breaking their symbols? Oh yeah, I've got a hockey stick. That is a sweet mask. Somebody has got to fabricate that. I'm sure somebody's going around to Comic Cons as that Casey Jones. From this point further, Raphael will have quite the battered shell compared to his brothers. You'll see a lot more cracks in it. That Foot Clan guy might have died. Yeah, now that we're playing with fire, the music's gone more extreme. Yeah, why did your dad have a trap door, lady? This movie is only a little over an hour and 30 something. I think that's with credits. It moves along a lot faster than you may remember. I mean, you probably thought, oh, well, there's the boring stuff where they're kind of like rehabilitating Raph, uh, meditating about Splinter, things like that, right? What's she fired for? Ninja, vanish. It's a van, guys. It's got to be the party wagon, right? Now, if you had a party wagon in the new film and it was as base as this without any features, you would complain endlessly. Oh, but Michael Bay gives you a party wagon that does incredible shit and everybody complains anyways. It's as though people complain because they didn't make the movie themselves. Shredder getting pissed. Sans cape. Dude, I would dress up like that if I could. I'm imagining I cannot afford that helmet. The helmet does get some creative changes in the sequel. I know that it got smashed. The side gets kind of replaced with a kind of like tiles instead of this intricate wire. Maybe that's not wire. Maybe that's a stamped steel. Oh, Tetsuo, you disappoint me. Tatsu, whatever. Oh, now he's pissed. It kind of reminds you of Die Hard, like only John can make somebody that angry. The hell did these guys do? Matsutatsu. There we go. You had one job, and that was to bring me the turtles. He'll be all right. He looks dead, but let's loop in. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Danny might start getting a change of opinion here. This is what kids do. They observe. They are not a part of the story. in reality. You sit and you watch your friends talk to their parents, or you watch your parents talk to their parents, right? You're not really part of the conversation as a teenager. You see mom and dad yell, and then they get the divorce. That's the way the story goes. It's like, hey, no one wants to listen to you. I'll listen to you. My dad couldn't care less about me. All right, so how often does someone have to come by with a bucket to pee the rat? They escape to this farmhouse, and I think this comes up in the first four issues of the Turtles comic, which is really what this movie is. The comic even features them killing Splinter, or sorry, Shredder, and so there shouldn't be any more Shredder. But it's just like, well, it's popular. I guess we got to say he came back. The Turtles actually first appeared in comics on the back page of another, I think it was a short run super indie made on a copier, gobbledygook. I think on the last page was an advertisement for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so that was their first print debut. Incredibly rare comic book to find, because bootlegs look just as authentic as, because, like I said, copier. Now we have the arguing couple. I bet you Elias wishes he had that hair still. I bet he really does. It's kind of like moonlighting. That's a joke for the parents. April does some drawings of the turtles, reflects on them. It's not stuff that's going to be that appealing to the kids. Would you say that Donatello even works on this? From what we're gathering here, it looks like Casey Jones is doing the work. Is camel breath mean you smell like camel cigarettes? Oh, it worked indeed. Are there girls that can't draw? It doesn't seem like every girl you come across can draw. We're rehabilitating Raph. Oh, by the way, I've got my belt off, so I'm a little naked without it. Yeah, look at the cracks in the shell. Maybe not cracks, but marks, I suppose. Casey Jones, a 9-year-old trapped in a man's body. I don't know how she got that assumption, but I mean, I don't know. He seems to be really preoccupied with the vigilantism. We don't really explore his character any more than that. If I'm not mistaken, don't they have a little makeout session by the end of the movie? I'm pretty sure they do. No, something else to fix. Hey, it's Raph. You put him in the tub, but you didn't put him in water. It's a Kodak moment. Would kids understand that today? Probably not. Oh, there you could have in that shot, Donatello's got his mouth wide open. There's quite a bit of light. You can see the performer's face behind it. What's he standing on top of a barn? Yelling Splinter? Yeah, he'll hear that. One would hope he didn't. What's I guess I don't understand how Splinter is slow, or God, Shredder is slow to connect the dots here. There's a mutant rat. There's turtles. They seem to be together. But I want them down because their fighting styles familiar. Oh wait, you're telling me that the rat trained them? Well, who else? So the rat doesn't mention the turtles, but you've been fighting mutant turtles, and there's a mutant rat. Do you think there's like other mutant turtles around that have trained these turtles, or maybe just of all the mutants you know of, try to connect the dots? Ooh, we're gonna get a little handsy here with April. Ooh, forcefully. Yeah. Ginger. It's kind of amazing Judith Hoag here didn't have more opportunities in films, as this was a big hit. As she was fine in this, so why didn't that lead to some more stuff right away? Strike while that iron's hot. Turtle wax. It's for a car, but we're going to act like it goes on shells. We're about to get into some spiritual nonsense. You can see the much more understated dots around his deltoids. Playing Trivial Pursuit. So what are they doing here? Really, are they're they retreat to the farm. Raph is okay now. They got to go back in and fight and save Splinter, right? Instead, they're like, well, hold on. Now we don't know if he's alive or not. Let's have a seance, and if he appears to us in spiritual form, that'll mean he's alive. If anything, that would seem to almost prove the opposite. You can see in Raph there on the far left that he has a crease below where the crease is created in his foam chest piece. Blue fire is important. All right, the greatest truth of the ninja, ultimate mastery comes from the mind. In movies around this time, you see a force ghost. As such, you're assuming the entity is dead. This sounds like a farewell type thing, you know? His spirit came to us. Yeah, Donatel's mouth seems to have different kind of creases about it. Rooster crows. It has to be the next morning. Played what professionally? Hockey? Oh, wait, you were a professional athlete? Now I'm interested in you, right? What? I guess I don't really see what makes them ready to go back. We didn't see a training montage. This, as the story goes, it's so simple, but they make up for a lot of it with the execution. Uh, I would also say that the whole thing about the family kind of adds some nuance to it. Yeah, the home is down here, dude. So they said Danny is missing, the kid that led them to the Turtles' hideout. Or rather, yeah, well, I guess it was their hideout at the time, sure. So he got them to leave the sewer so that he could live in their sewer home. Man, as prolific as New York City is with the homeless, they would have found this place and squatted it. I've never even looked at another guy before. He called him claustrophobic. You want a fist in your mouth? I never even looked at another guy before. That's a gay joke. Confusing claustrophobic, homophobic. Think maybe I could have one? Yeah, I'll take one of these and fold it up. Yep, that's what you're supposed to do with drawings that are good. Fold them up. Leftover pizza. How old is this? Turtles might be able to eat penicillin pizza. Kind of a funny thing here. They're giving the funeral to the pizza. No way sleeping in that truck is going to be comfortable. Splinter is now talking to Danny in his sleep. It's getting a little contrived, guys. I mean, there are people who could say that this is the truest to comic book adaptation in a movie, but oh boy, it's a lot to swallow right there. Splinter's powers, the way he seems to be able to manipulate people. Or hell, maybe Danny's having a dream of him recalling his talk. It's a little lazy. I mean, next what you need is somebody getting amnesia, right? Let's go to the Play Fortress. What games do we recognize there? I saw a Narc. I can't read the marquees on those. Something looks like it says Castle. Star Castle? I don't think I'm familiar with that. Has Splinter been talking to all the Foot Clan as they casually walk by one at a time? Yeah, I kind of hide from all my families. Now we're going to learn more about Splinter's origin. He told you the origin of the Turtles. Let me tell you the origin of me. Dim the lights. Prepare for grain and blur. He learned ninjutsu by watching his master. Okay, I can kind of get behind that. At least there's an explanation. When Oroko Saki came by, competed fiercely for the love of, what was his name? Was his name Sadochi? Was it? Tang Shin? Maybe I was off. Flee to America instead of fight. But Saki vowed vengeance. Ninjutsu Master returns home from his construction job. Orokosaki had killed her and him as well. The rat gets out of the cage, bites. Gets some claws on him, but swipes and slices his ear. Probably could have finished killing the rat if he wanted. I don't know how he managed to slice just the ear, but okay. The point I'm getting at here is in the comic books, Splinter was a rat the whole time and grew large. in the cartoon, Splinter was the master, kind of got banished to the sewer, hung out with a rat, and merged with it. But the turtles become big. Well, this all coming from the ooze. It's more consistent to have the ooze make the critters big instead of, say, merge the human with the rat. And now why are the turtles getting human properties if it's not consistent, right? So I would say that of the possible Splinter Ninja Turtle origins, this film has it best. Ooh, your bandana's on the ground. This is a big problem. Man, this guy has a real sinister voice. Oh, he's gonna find my drawing. Ah, Leonardo, eh? Yeah, now we're gonna get some music kicking in. Oh, so he's got like one claw hand. I wonder if he can pick that up and take that off. It looks like he wears that like it's brass knuckles. I put on one of their disguises. They're going to kill Splinter. Well, why didn't they already? Yeah, I don't want to dive down the drainage ditch. I just kind of my thing. Everybody run in and yell. But the turtles were waiting for them. And now here we got the ninja magic here, right? Everything's taken care of. I like the line, gosh, I do hope there's more of them, and there are. Well, it's a giant rat. You know, I've seen giant turtles. Okay, I'll deal with it. Who are you? A friend. Casey Jones, his arc, he warms up to the turtles. Wanted to do things on his own, found out that the turtles had a babe with them, changed his mind. Oh, a nice aerial move there by Leonardo. No way in hell Corey Feldman is in that suit for that, of course, right? Or hell, was he ever in the suit? Or just doing the voice? Man, that could hurt. Him with the bow staff on top of the noggin. Oh, yeah, we gave Casey Jones a fight here. In the most recent Out of the Shadows, he fights Bebop and Rocksteady, and I thought that was actually pretty sweet. Here, the otherwise, I don't think Tatsu might have been added to a comic at some point, or maybe a late installment of the cartoon, well after everything had sizzled with that. He's trying to talk him down, but he's getting kicked in the balls. Oh, hey. 4. Guess we gotta fight dirty. No way he's knocking him with distance. Maybe the Mythbusters should have looked into that. How hard do you need to get hit in the head with a golf club to fly? We then crank out some song here. Oh, was it Surfing USA? What is this? I can't hear it. Or a Sounds Alike? Oh, you guys don't want to jump me now because Tatsu's beat up? He poisoned your minds like drugs to obtain that which he desires, which is what family? You call this a family? Come on, guys, help the rat out. Man, just Splinter walking away like that, there's more emotion than that than you got in the newer Bay films, which, I said that there's more they got right than wrong, but there's certainly opportunities they missed. They're having such a fun time just kicking butt that they're trying to come up with some pun words, phrases here. Do 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 do. Keep in mind that the music they use here, it's you associate with the Ninja Turtles, but it's not from the cartoon. It's not the heroes in a half shell and they're mean. Which, by the way, that song is actually from the creator of Two and a Half Men, the guy who had the feud with Charlie Sheen. In the show, I think the first episode, it's established that he made his fortune having that Malibu beach house. Is it Malibu, right? That he got that from making the Ninja Turtles theme song. In reality, he didn't make any money off of it, but it opened a lot of doors for him, a lot of opportunities to work on Roseanne and then create his own TV shows, Two and a Half Men, Big Bang Theory, co-create, whatever. Oh, yeah. Shredder sets foot. Is he barefoot? Is that what I saw? First meeting with the Shredder. The Shredder. Eh. Oh, nice staff move there. Ching, ching, ching. Everybody fight me one at a time. I dare you. Yeah, he'll fall for that, sure. I don't know what they did. Match you for it? Was that rock, paper, scissors? I can't tell you. Oh, good thing there is a trash collecting truck right there. Their family got their butts kicked. Well, if we could attack them together. Uh, maybe he doesn't. Actually, Splinter's on the ground, so if you want to not fight this guy, totally in the cards. Looks like our boy's gonna need a little help. He gets the truck ready for someone to go off the edge. Hold on. I can steal this truck right here and maybe shake those guys off. Casey Jones has this perfect blend of characterization without being annoying. Yeah, I like his post-knockout one-liners. Oh, did we get a hit on him? Oh, you wounded him. Good. You can see that it looks like the turtles are a little bruised and bleeding, but I kind of like the idea that they're mutants and therefore bulletproof in the newer films. Like, that, in a way, it gives them a superhero-type mystique about them. Now you can kind of see through his mask. You couldn't really before. You see that mouth behind him. So much teeth there that I don't think were in that costume prior. That they might have changed the face out so that Leo could have a lot of teeth in that head. Ha, you fools. You threw away your weapon. You thought I was going to spare his life? Wow, Splinter got up there right quick. Maybe the idea is that the rat is the only thing to have ever beaten him in heads up combat. Maybe that's the idea. No one else has ever scarred me but that rat. That's why I need to beat him. He's the only one who can beat me. The blemish on my perfect fighting record. All right, we can see why you wear the mask. He grabbed the nunchuck on the way up because they were told to throw away their weapons. Had you not done that, wouldn't have put this in place. Death comes to us all, Rogasagi, but something much worse comes for you. When you die, it will be... Never mind. I think he falls to his death in the first comic book, and that's what we're seeing here. Without honor. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this is homicide, buddy. Or manslaughter. This is not walking out of this. That's his helmet getting crushed. That means dead. But as with the comics, they just say he returns. Kids. And the New York's finest, late. Would they let women join the Foot Clan? I see a gal there. Oh yeah, that's another thing. In the reboot, we'll have like female in the Foot Clan, right? Or maybe they'll just kind of like blend April O'Neil into one of the Foot Clan. Like she double dips Foot Clan and reporter. I took some money from you, and now I've learned my lesson. I have one of the bigger arcs in the film, to be honest with you. My name's Danny. Not in the comics, as far as I know, not in the cartoon. Kind of a made-up key character in this movie. And the dad cares about him, and he realizes it's tough for his dad too. Good movie to show your kid if you're a single dad. All right, just call me Dan now. Danny was my ninja name. Yeah, I want some stretchers over here, and yeah, I'm the chief of police. I kind of just show up. You were fired, but oh, you can have an office, sure. You can have a corner office, yeah. You're the highest paid reporter. Oh, okay. Are these guys being arrested or not? Lairdman Island. Wink, wink. Eastman and Laird, right? Kind of put that together. Hey, I got to go back on TV, so I got to, give myself the little side mirror makeup. I'm a little beat up because it looks like I called Mike Tyson a sissy. At least people know who Mike Tyson still is. Yeah, kissy time. Let's just stay up here and observe. We want to stay out of the cops' way. Ooh, yeah, big smooch. We were awesome. Bodacious, yeah. Bitchin', ooh. People kind of did talk like this. They have like a kind of Valley Girl slang about them, that cowabunga, right? And isn't that what Splinter says here? I swear, I kind of associate cowabunga with Michelangelo, but also Bart Simpson. Now, here's that. This is a really good rap song. I mean, all kidding aside, this is good enough to be considered for Best Original Song Oscar. And what else you got in 1990? There, do you not remember how bad most rap was at that time? Yeah, so sit here, enjoy our end credits. Yeah, I like the way end credits used to look too, and they actually put them on plates and moved them around. There's a certain mystique about that you don't get today. But yeah, did you enjoy TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I have not seen TMNT, the 2000, was it 6 or 7 film? Might have been 7. I haven't actually seen that, so I can't say this is the best one. My assumption is that this is the case, that this is the best Ninja Turtles film. But like I said, those, was it 2014 and 2016? I don't think are really that far behind. I think they're unique and a little underappreciated. That people are just so bitten by nostalgia that they can't really see anything good in them. Oh, it says 3 people for Splinter. Interesting. All right, let me know what you thought about this. Give me some suggestions for what you'd like a Netflix commentary track on next. Adios.